Hey everybody, Dutch Sense here. 8:41 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, May 5th, 2012. And I'm over here on Yahoo News. This is just a tremendous story that came out about 10 hours ago from the Associated Press, and I'm just going to go ahead and read you the first couple paragraphs. Before I do that, I want to show you something that I've started over here on whitehouse.gov. I've started a petition to mimic this Japanese news story of shutting down all the nuclear reactors in the United States. And that's under the auspices that each nuclear reactor needs to be 100% earthquake and tsunami proof. If they're going to put potentially lethal material somewhere, it needs to be guaranteed 100% earthquake and tsunami proof. And if it's not, then you shut it down. And that's what's going on here in Japan. Let me just read this to you. Thousands march as Japan shuts off nuclear power. And I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs here. You guys can read the rest. Link is down below, as well as the link to the White House petition. We need 25,000 signatures for the White House to review this. So I think we can do it. Thousands of Japanese marched to celebrate the switching off of the last of their nation's 50 nuclear reactors Saturday, waving banners shaped as a giant fish that have become a potent anti-nuclear symbol. And the reason they're using the fish is because the fish were polluted by Fukushima when they dumped all their nuclear radioactive water into the sea, and it polluted all. Of course, they eat sushi, and seafood is a huge diet over in Japan. So Japan was without electricity from nuclear power for the first time in 4 decades when the reactor at Tomari Nuclear Power Plant on the northern island of Hokkaido went offline for mandatory routine maintenance. After last year's March 11th quake and tsunami set off meltdowns at the Fukushima plant, no reactor halted for checkups has been restarted amid public worries about the safety of nuclear technology. And they go on to say today is a historic day. And what they're doing is, as the plants come up for review for safety, they are shutting them down. They already have to shut them down so they can review them. They're keeping them shut down, and they're basically saying, unless they're earthquake and tsunami proof, they're not going to reopen them. And they're switching from nuclear power to other forms of energy. And it goes on to say they've had some rolling blackouts, but the transition has been rather painless. So go read this story. I've started the petition on whitehouse.gov, and it makes sense to me, guys. If we are going to try and do nuclear power, then the nuclear power plants themselves need to be 100% fail-safe. 100%. If they can't give us a 100%, it shouldn't be done. And if we already have all these nuclear plants, let me just go ahead and show you how many nuclear plants are in our country. This is just rough. This is a map from the Radiation Network, and these are Geiger counters placed around the United States, everywhere where there's a number here, and everywhere where there's a radiation symbol, that's a nuclear power plant. Now notice, each one of these nuclear plants is upwind from the city that it's providing for. Okay, you've got one here, upwind from Kansas City. You've got one here, upwind from St. Louis. You've got Chicago's, all upwind from Chicago. Right? Okay, and if they're not upwind from a big city, then they're either in an earthquake fault zone. So again, look in Missouri, look in Illinois. We've got the New Madrid zone that goes basically from Oklahoma and Arkansas right up through southern Indiana. Now you're telling me if we have a 9.0 over here somewhere in the Midwest, 8.0, 7.0, any one of these nuclear plants is going to have the same kind of problem that they had at Fukushima. They're going to lose power. They're going to have all kinds of problems in the Midwest, upwind from millions of people. And look on the coast. What if a tsunami were to hit? Florida? That's only like 10 or 20 feet above sea level. The whole state. Now, look at that. Look on the West Coast. Big earthquake. Overdue on the West Coast. Look how many nuclear power plants there are. So I would say if it's in an earthquake-prone zone, a tsunami-prone zone, or upwind from a major city, that it needs to go under safety review to have a guarantee 100% that it will survive an earthquake, if it's in earthquake fault zone area, or if it's in a coastal area, that it will 100% survive a tsunami. And of course, we know that's going to be pretty much impossible to guarantee, which you might as well just shut them down then, because we know that they're not going to be 100% earthquake-proof and 100% tsunami-proof. There's no such thing. In my eyes, I don't think they could do it. So, in other words, we need to shut them down one at a time to avoid much power loss and to make that transition as soon as possible. And to take all that nuclear material and find a place to put it that's incredibly safe and store it away for 1 trillion years and forget about nuclear power. Okay? So here's the petition down below. Go ahead and sign it. Click your name on it. Only real entries, guys. Only real entries. And I want more than 25,000. I want to double that or quadruple that so that they can't say that there's false signatures or anything like that in there, okay? Cheers, guys. Much love. Hang in there.